Hi, welcome back. All right, so as promised, we're going to talk about setups for conversations and making everything as obvious as possible. So here we have a bunch of props in front of us. Now we're trying to, let's say we've decided we wanted to have our food and drink conversation in a target language. And so as a game leader, we're cooking up what we can pull from our environment and what's on hand that would make a great language hunt conversation. So here we have if I asked any English speaker, right, 100% of them would say, oh, that's a glass, right? Unlikely that they would even say cup or other things, right? They would say, oh, that's a glass, right? So this is great. And it is a glass. It's like an Ur glass, right? I've been around these since I was a kid. This
Proper
sort of
glass.
Yeah, it's like chiseled. It's what French.
Made of glass even.
Yes. So here we've got something that is very creative and pretty. But if I was to ask you what it is, well, maybe it's a mug. You know, what would you call it?
To me, I would call that a mug, a coffee mug.
Coffee mug.
Tea
Okay.
mug or something.
And what color is it?
Well, there's a lot of colors on that.
You know, like there's a lot going on here. It's very busy, right?
That might be a good one for a future game setup, but not
Yeah.
an obvious one.
Right. Yeah. Maybe it's more advanced. Oh, how many colors do you see on this mug? Well, blah, blah, blah. Right. Here's another one that's a little like, what is this? Man,
I love those.
is it a tiny vase? Yeah, right. It's clay. It's got,
There's no arms to it.
and the colors aren't obvious. Even like, what color is that? You know. So it's the kind of thing that would that you could do with in a pinch. It's definitely not as bad as this one, but it's just not awesome, right? What is that?
The iconic.
Yes. Now my inner language hunter wants to quibble with there's a slight gold trim around the rim, you know, but honestly, this is pretty cool. This is a great little cup. It's clearly a white cup, right?
Might be lost on younger players.
Yeah.
We don't use these much anymore.
Yeah.
This is what, 6 ounces?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's pretty tiny guy, and it's begging for a little saucer too. So you can already feel sort of the situation being evoked by this guy. Again, that cup.
It's very busy.
Lots going
Language on it.
on. You know,
Two languages on it.
right. You know, it's got multiple writing systems on it, and it's got. I mean, it's kind of a disaster, but it's the kind of thing you'd be like, oh, won't it be fun to have a cup with it?
I removed it from the table.
Yeah. So this is my favorite so far. I think yours too, huh?
Yep.
And then of course, shoot, if we're going for like the Master Zen game, we'd pair it with something else that is pure white, same material and everything. And then with this guy, wow, we've got one small white teapot and one large red teapot. I mean, the game just writes itself, right? And that's
Comparison's obvious.
right. You know, for like your which square over here, if you were like, which one of these is the small white teapot and which is the large red, right? You know, a great solution for this square, right? So those are the kind of situation. You'll even notice that our tablecloth is green and matches our board, which is green, right? So we've already done a lot of setting up of an obvious situation here.
Trying to avoid all ambiguity.
Yeah, so it's almost like you start getting towards that sort of matrix white room, perfect learning environment where everything in here is here because I chose it to be here, right? Any last thoughts about setting up obvious situations?
Well, the beauty of starting with something that's void of anything is that when you introduce something that has color to it or a pattern on it,
Yeah.
then it begs another question and another game to pull out the obvious distinction between, like we said, a red pot or a white pot, a big pot or a small pot.
Yeah, you'll find actually if this pot was out of view, right, and we were just playing with these guys, and you played a couple rounds, and then you brought this pot in, your players spontaneously would want to start pulling the
Creating
color
in their-
out, and yeah,
creating
they
in their head, how
they
would I get that?
yeah, you'd watch their eyes light up, and it's a classic situation. So is that it on obvious setups for now?
I think so.
All right. So next time, I think what we'll do is we'll go over sending language around the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Till then.
Slan.